Party on the Power Trip Podcast Network.
Hi.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, we're on.
Hi.
Hi, Hogs.
July 6th, and it's 8:59, and here we are doing the Power Trip After Party. The hell, man, right?
The hell.
Yeah, the hell.
So Beyonce is an Italian woman named Anne-Marie Lastrassi.
Oh my God, this fucking story.
What now?
A Florida guy named K.W. Miller is running for Florida's 18th district for Congress.
Okay.
He tweeted over the weekend that Beyonce is not black.
Huh?
She's an Italian woman named Anne-Marie Lastrassi, and she's part of a, quote, Soros deep state agenda for the Black Lives Matter movement.
Can you
He
believe,
also
man?
added that her song Formation is a secret-coded message to globalists, and that she worships at Satanist churches and keeps Satanist symbols in her bag.
I just can't believe it.
K.W. Miller also called Patti
So
LaBelle
Scottish.
an Illuminati globalist puppet.
Oh, my God.
But so far, he has allowed her to stay black.
Oh.
So Patti LaBelle is black, but an Illuminati globalist puppet.
Yeah, you know, I encourage you
What the
guys,
fuck?
if you want to have some fun, but also kind of just really be disgusted by society and read about QAnon.
But what?
QAnon.
Yeah,
You
he's
guys-
also in this.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about this morning. QAnon is this, group of folks who believe, in a nutshell, that Hillary Clinton and her cohorts are running a child prostitution ring,
Pizzagate.
and also they do sacrifice children as well, and that President Trump is that's the reason he's ascended, is to prevent people like Hillary Clinton and such like that from doing the child sacrificing. And it's ridiculous. And I was about to say it sounds ridiculous, but I mean, it is ridiculous. But the problem is, like, the lady in Colorado who won the Republican side of her whatever, primary, is a QAnon supporter.
Jesus.
I mean, there are people, legitimate people, who believe this stuff is real. They really believe this stuff is real. They blame George Soros for everything. Everything. And I could go into depth about why they believe that.
His speakers are incredible.
Yeah. So anyway, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun to look up what they believe and then to sit back and say, all right, they're fooling. They can't really believe that. And then to look in their eyes and realize, oh, they're fucking crazy.
So this isn't the same group that Gundy supported with this shirt, is it? That's AON?
That's a network.
That's a
far
news
right
Yeah,
network.
okay.
news network.
But I believe that they, I could be wrong, but I believe
That's
that's
a news network.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I
that's a
think that
news
they
network.
do support QAnon. I think that's kind of like their basis.
So how do you spell QAnon?
It's Q and then Anon.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
A-N-O-N.
Yeah. So here's what it says. A far-right conspiracy theory detailing a supposed secret plot by an alleged deep state against U.S. President Donald Trump and his supporters. The theory began with an October 2017 post on the anonymous image board 4chan, which, Jesus Christ, by someone using the name Q, who was presumably an American individual initially, but probably later became a group of people. Claiming to have access to classified information involving the Trump administration and its opponents in the United States. Q has falsely accused many liberal Hollywood actors, Democratic politicians, and high-ranking officials of being members of an international child sex trafficking ring, and has claimed that Donald Trump feigned collusion with the Russians in order to enlist Robert Mueller to join him in exposing the ring and preventing a coup d'etat by Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and George Soros. Q is in reference to the Q clearance used by the Department of Energy. QAnon believers commonly tag their social media post with the hashtag WWG1WGA, signifying where we go one, we go all.
God, there's so many goddamn dumb people in this country.
I'm gonna guess that this is not. This might be a loud group, but probably not a lot of people in this group.
Boy, I don't know.
Let's hope that
You
that's
never know.
the case.
It is pretty damned amazing, though, man. But that, I'm astounded, and I'll get one or two emails from fake email addresses from people after they hear this podcast talking about how I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about and how it really is true that Hillary Clinton is sacrificing children. I just...
Because there's so much evidence for that.
Yeah, I just have a hard time believing
You
it.
can't prove it that she's not.
Right.
The worst argument in the history of arguments is you can't prove it's not. That's like, again, that's the Smurf argument. Can't prove Smurfs don't exist, so that it's got to be 50-50, right?
Well, I love when who was it? Was it South Park that made fun of Ancient Aliens? That show on History Channel,
right? Yeah.
It's just like some of those guys. I actually love watching that show because it's kind of fun.
It's brilliant. South Park or Ancient Aliens?
Ancient Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Well, both. I mean, I like watching both. But it is funny how these guys on Ancient Aliens will like say all this stuff, and they basically will say like, "Well, you don't have any evidence that to the contrary, so it must be true."
That's not how it works.
Like,
that's not how evidence works. Ugh. Completely changing subjects, but check this out. Did you guys read the story about this guy in Japan? This is fascinating to me. So, a 32-year-old guy in Japan named Yoshido Harda, spelled that way, Harda. His trick for picking up chicks was he would slash their tires, and then he would drive up and offer to help them when they had car trouble. Of course, when they realized their tires were slashed, they didn't notice.
Jesus, that's fucking Bundy.
Yeah,
Right.
that's serial killer shit.
That's Bundy shit.
But he wouldn't do it to like kill him. He would just, that was like his damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more than willing to, I mean, he's definitely a psycho, right?
Yeah.
And he has massive issues.
That's his
But
opening line.
His opening line would, like, I will help them. I'll show that I'm willing to help them. And they're going to be like, what a nice guy. And then maybe they'll date me. So he pulls this move on a 43-year-old woman when she was grocery shopping a few weeks ago. And she thought it seemed very suspicious because the exact same thing happened to her a year earlier. And it ended up being the exact same guy.
My God.
So he had lost track about who he had done it to because he claims, his lawyer even said this, he has probably pulled this move 1,000 times.
My God.
1,000 times.
Holy shit.
And as the story points out, it's never worked because he's still single.
Right, yeah.
So he's tried this move 1,000 times, so many times that he accidentally did it to the same gal. And she's like, this feels very familiar. This was the same thing that happened to me a year ago. Same dude. He didn't know it. She didn't know it.
My God.
Slashing tires.
Yeah,
the
that's
old
fucked.
Slash a tire and rescue a damsel in distress.
So what was the movie where was it Minority Report where they arrest you before you actually commit the crime?
precogs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and like charge this guy with rape and murder because it's gonna happen.
It's down the road.
Yeah.
That's a fun movie, man.
This is how you
It is.
dab.
Minority Report's fun.
I've never seen it.
It's a cool idea.
I haven't seen. I just kind of know the premise of.
It's a cool concept. I think they did a good job with it too. And Colin Farrell's a great actor. Cruz is pretty good in it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I'll have to check it out.
It's basically Cruz works for the pre-crime division, right? There are three like future seers that are hooked up to this crime department, and they can see crimes before they happen. So when the precogs, as they call them, see the crime, then the police go out and stop it before it happens. Well, it gets fucked, of course, because Tom Cruise, who's a part of the division, gets arrested for murder, and he's like, I'm not going to kill anybody. And they're like,
not yet.
it says that you're going to, so you're going to. So the reason why it's called Minority Report is that if there's three of them, if one of the three precogs sees it differently, they're almost like they're outvoted.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Minority Report, is one of them is seeing it differently, but the other two say that he kills somebody. So it's basically Tom Cruise saying, I don't have any intentions of killing anybody. How am I supposed to kill somebody? What is it, 24 hours later or 48 hours later? He's like, that doesn't make sense to me. So is the Minority Report correct, or is the two other people, are they predicting the future correctly? But of course, then there's all this ethical future shit about, like, if we knew crimes were going to happen before they're committed, how would that work? Ethically, morally, all this kind of stuff. Because they're knocking on people's doors going, you're under arrest. And they're like, for what?
For what?
For a
Right.
crime you commit 7 years from now.
Burglary.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Yep. Yeah, you killed 16 people.
Jeez.
I didn't do anything.
And you
Well, not yet, you
slashed
didn't.
1,000 sets of tires.
Right. Not a bad movie. It really isn't.
Yeah, it's like that one movie where Tom Cruise lives the same day over and over and over again.
Is that Tomorrow Never? No,
Yeah,
No, that's a
Tomorrow-
Bond movie.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Is that good?
I love it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've heard it's good.
It seems like it would be ridiculous. I know.
Like Groundhog Day with
Yeah.
war.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
he keeps having to learn like how to get out of these different situations, and then he dies and he comes right back to life. But it takes him forever to figure that shit out. But it's pretty interesting. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I love shit, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Speaking of that, we didn't talk about it at all. Fucking Hamilton, man. It's so good. You got to watch it with subtitles. Give it a shot. Try it again with subtitles. I missed a lot of shit. I'm telling you, the first time I saw it, I missed so much. But watching it with subtitles on the TV, man, it's so good. The performances are great. I obviously didn't get to see it with Lin-Manuel, but he's great.
Where did
the original
you see it?
cast,
Here?
On Disney Plus.
No, sorry.
Yeah, I saw
actual
it.
play.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It was wonderful. But the original cast and the story and man, it's just brilliant. The whole goddamn thing is brilliant.
So I'm super nervous that I'm going to think he's a genius, that I'm going to think they're all talented, that I'm going to think these are people that are, way more skilled at that shit than I will ever or could ever be. But I'm still nervous I'm going to hate every second of
Right.
it.
I don't think you will. It's not
Ugh.
musicals like where they sit around singing about their balls and stuff,
Yeah, but those are the ones I like.
Singing about their balls.
Yeah, like their dress-up balls and stuff like that. But it's
Like,
like there's rap and it's
I
just
really
great,
liked Book
man.
of Mormon because I saw it live.
Yeah.
I liked Book of Mormon, but it also because it was funny as hell the whole way.
Yeah, right.
I don't like musicals in general. I just really, really, really don't.
I would say
I don't
this.
know if I can do
I was
it.
pretty adamant that you're not going to like it. I think with the subtitles, if I would watch it again, I think the subtitles would help because I was really curious. The thing I really like, and I hope that they keep doing more of these type of things. Obviously, you can't replicate Hamilton, but nobody's into history anymore. And I do think it's an important part of everybody's upbringing, just kind of know what's going on. No, we don't have to maybe dive into specifically each person and the history, but maybe even just big events. I don't know if they came up with a musical about World War II, I'd probably watch it because I think it's kind of fascinating. I want to know about that stuff. I think you maybe with subtitles.
Sound of Music, right? Isn't Sound of Music World War II? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there. Just watch that one. Very good enough.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
but it might just be intriguing enough if you had the subtitles.
Yeah.
That you would find it fascinating just to know about his life and the times that was going on.
By the way, Sound of Music's World War I or World War II?
That's World War
now
II.
I'm questioning
There's Nazis.
myself.
Yeah, it's World War II. Yeah,
It is
There's
Nazis?
Nazis involved in
It's
World War I too.
It's in
though.
Switzerland,
Well, not
right?
necessarily Nazis, but Germans, right?
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Dee-dee-dee.
I can't.
Sound of Music?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got Nazis in it.
The film is about a young Austrian postulant in Salzburg, Austria in 1938. So
World War
beginning of
II.
Yeah, World War II. Yeah.
Yeah.
The start of World War II.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know what's crazy is I saw that movie when I was younger.
Yeah, I think it was mandatory.
Much younger. Not to rip off Mitch Hedberg. Every pictures of you when you're younger. I don't remember it being about Nazis or war at all, right? Because it's so long. And so when I saw it when I was a kid, it's like, it's just Julie Andrews singing with a bunch of kids that she's nannying. I don't remember any part of it being about Nazis. And of course it is, but I don't know. I saw it once and it was 9 hours long when I was 10. So I'm like, this is boring as shit. When is this over?
The only part I remember is the hills are alive with the sound of music. That's it. I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, because
I've
that
never
was the
seen
big
it at all.
hook. You're not missing much.
Yeah, it's okay.
Wow. Yeah, it's 174 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Have you guys seen? Was this?
That's
was
almost
this
3
last year?
hours.
Yeah, last year's. John Mulaney, when John Mulaney hosted SNL. You know the song from. The song from from Sound of Music that's like I am 16 going on 17.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was an SNL skit that was almost identical to that where Cecily Strong was supposed to be one of the Von Trapp kids. And John Mulaney's 38. And he's like, don't worry about it. So they had this big musical about how she's realizing he's not a 20-year-old soldier. He's 40 and has been divorced twice.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
It's a good bit. And she's super uncomfortable.
That's a great bit.
And I believe, Sauce, pay attention because you'll like this. I believe at one part she says, how old did you think I was? And he says something about I got confused by your big naturals.
By the way, who's a big fan of that I Am 16 Going on 17 song?
Barry Mardones.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
He probably wrote it.
Yeah, he probably did.
Budget for the film $8.2 million. Box office $286.2.
And with inflation, that's probably
That's
what?
crushing.
Probably $700 million in
Yeah.
today's
Something like
money
that,
or
yeah.
something like
Right.
that. Maybe $1 billion. Who knows?
I have to admit something. I've never seen it.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
God dang, 174
You've never
minutes.
seen it either?
Going on
I have not
17.
Oh, I figured that'd be like
Nope.
right up your alley.
I don't know why I've never seen it. I just haven't.
Well, it's 15,000 hours long. It's a huge commitment. I'm telling you, dude, that was almost the reason I didn't watch Ford versus Ferrari. I'm like,
Right.
2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know the cool thing
Worth
is
it, though.
About Hamilton's, they leave the intermission in so you can hit pause.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
sweet.
Kinda
Yeah, which is
That's
great.
awesome.
They give you a 1 minute countdown, but you can obviously just hit pause as well. But it was the exact right spot. And to be honest with you, the next two songs after the intermission are kind of anyway. But man, the end of that, Jesus, wow,
You know what's crazy, though?
wow.
But what you just said is, I was saying the exact same thing to my neighbors about Ford versus Ferrari, is that when you binge watch a TV show, 2 or 3 hours worth, right?
Sure.
Even if you're wide awake, after an hour, you have that 30-second window going, am I mentally ready for another hour?
Yeah.
And of course, if you're like really into a show, you're like, yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep doing it, yeah.
But you know, you're like, I am willing to commit to one more hour.
Yeah.
With movies, when you're an hour and a half in, you're like, I got another hour left? Like, you don't, I'm so accustomed now to having that 15 seconds to say, am I in or am I out?
Yeah.
Am I out?
Yeah.
Because I had that moment Thursday night with Ford versus Ferrari. I'm like, there's an hour left of this thing. I'm tired. But it was good, but I'm
Yeah.
like, God, I'm so
Yeah.
tired. So if that had been a TV show, I would have stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
and
because
maybe
I wasn't
never
liking
gone
it.
back.
No, I liked it. I would have
Oh.
absolutely binged the second
Yeah,
episode
sure.
the following night. But in that moment, I would have said, I'll watch an episode 2 tomorrow.
Hmm.
But I powered through because it was a movie. And then I was up till midnight, or not midnight, 11 o'clock watching a movie on a work night, which is too late for us.
That's way too late.
Way too late.
Man.
But Ben, you were right because you liked that movie too, right?
I never saw it.
Oh, I thought you
I
guys
thought
both
you did
liked
see
it.
it.
I thought you were both raving about it. I knew Hawk loved it.
Yeah, freaking loved it.
Yeah, you might dig it
Yeah,
too.
I
You're
think
a car
I like
guy.
it. I
It's
think
really good.
The big thing with me when it first came out, I was like, I just hate the title. I wish they would have changed the title.
Yeah, so I said this when I reviewed it Friday morning, is even in the trailer, you assume one of them is Ford and one of them is Ferrari. Not even close to the story.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
really not. They're both
Yeah.
on this, and they're both on the same team. They're trying to win together. They're not against each other.
There's just something about the title that just kind of turned me off when it was released. Even I'm like, ugh.
But when you see
It's
the
not
movie,
punchy. It just sounds kind of cheesy and
it's in a lot of ways, even though it's super simple, it's a perfect title for the film because that's exactly what it is. It's 2.5 hours of Ford trying to beat Ferrari. It's what it is.
I'll give it a whirl.
It's worth it.
It looks good.
It's worth a 2.5 hour watch for sure.
Yeah.
Just got to
It,
be wide awake for it. That's all.
The first two stars that were attached to it who were going to film it, and then things got jumbled up, were Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
Whoa.
wow.
How about seeing those two in a movie together? That'd
Yeah.
be something to see.
Yeah.
Who was going to be who? Do you know?
No, it doesn't say.
I bet-
You'd
I bet
almost
Pitt
have to.
would have been-
You'd almost have to have Pitt be Ken Miles because
Absolutely, yeah.
Cruise was already a race car driver with Days
Right,
of Thunder.
right.
It would have. He would have been more believable as the Carroll Shelby
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
I'm going to be floored if it was the other way around, but I think Pitt would have been the
Yeah, it
driver.
doesn't say in here which would have been which, but that makes more
I think that's got to be a weird thing in Hollywood because
Right.
it happens a lot where,
Right.
these two guys, it sounds like from you guys are saying, like they do a fantastic job,
Great.
right? And it
Both of
might
them.
even be hard to really picture anybody else doing it. But in this case, they're Plan B.
Sure, and they're
You
both
know, and-
A-listers.
Yeah.
A-listers and Plan Bs.
And it sounds like a lot of movies happen like this where, like, yeah, he wasn't our first choice. Maybe not even second choice. Like, you might be third or fourth down the line, and you might knock it out of the park, and it might be great, but... Or you turn down how many actors turn down roles, and then that role becomes this gigantic hit, and they're like, "Son of a bitch!"
I bet
like
Pitt was filming the Quentin Tarantino film.
maybe.
I bet that's why I couldn't do
Once
it.
Upon a Time in
But
Hollywood.
it also could have been a project that got shelved 10 years ago,
Correct.
too.
Yeah. Something,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Like a lot of films.
Or maybe
yeah.
he read the script and said, like, "No, this
This
sucks.
is stupid.
Yeah, I
Horse
don't
shit.
like it."
Yeah,
Yeah,
horse shit.
It's complete horse shit.
I just was blown away. Back to your point about learning history. I had no idea most of this stuff was even close to accurate.
Yeah.
I just didn't
Yeah.
know any of this stuff existed. I had no idea how it worked. It's just fascinating. These 24-hour races, which still exist. I didn't even know they were
Absolutely.
a thing.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
What a cool idea.
You know, here's something because I never saw this movie. I don't know why I never saw this movie. Maybe let's see, when did 1987? So I was only 16, so I guess that's probably why. Christian Bale's first starring role was at age 13
Empire,
in Empire of the Sun.
Yeah. I saw it when I was younger.
Oh, yeah.
He was a kid, though.
Yeah, he was 13 years old.
Yeah, he played a kid in that.
Steven Spielberg's Empire of the Sun. I
Yeah, I've never.
I don't know
I've
how
never
I missed
seen
that.
I bet I
movie.
saw that when I was like 10 or 11.
Good.
Wait,
I
who's
don't
all in
remember.
Looking at it right now, Malkovich and Bale are the only two names I know. But again, it's Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Christian Bale's big break was American Psycho.
Yeah, which he's phenomenal in.
He-
That's such a
But
good
that was
movie.
a cult film. When you say
Correct, but
yeah,
that put him
right.
on the map
Yeah.
as like the
Oh, as an
potential to
actor,
be
yeah,
a
yeah,
leading
gotcha,
actor.
right.
Is
Yeah.
he was so good.
He's
you
so
guys see
good.
that?
I heard he's
Oh,
great,
dude.
yeah.
Dude, it's
He's brilliant.
What a creepy
He's
movie,
brilliant
man.
in that.
Check
To
this
kill
out.
people to frickin'
Yeah. Music.
God dang it, I'm blank.
Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis.
Yeah,
thank
right.
you.
Yeah, I didn't even know what
Psychopath.
Empire of the Sun was about. It's the film tells the story of Jamie Jim Graham, a young boy who goes from living in a wealthy British family in Shanghai to becoming a prisoner of war in a Japanese internment camp during World War II.
I couldn't have even told you
That's
that
kinda
because again, I
fun.
saw it 30 years ago. I didn't even remember what the plot was.
Yeah.
I may have to see that.
Yeah, I bet
agreed.
it's good.
See if I even know of another name from this movie. Oh, Ben Stiller as Dainty. I don't even. He must have been a kid then too, right?
Probably.
Dainty.
Data?
Yeah, yeah. As Data.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he's in Star Trek as well.
You mean? Oh yeah.
Oh, Joey Pants is in it. Joe Pantoliano.
Really?
Joey Pants.
Yeah. And
By the way, today is Chad Abbott's 25th anniversary of being here.
is that
It
right?
feels like 100.
Yeah.
Let's see, what year is this? 2020.
Yeah.
I was hired in 1997.
23.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Jesus.
It would have taken me a while. Yeah, April 17th, I believe, was my 23rd anniversary then. That's a long fucking time. Pretty cool, man.
And think
Proud
about
of
it.
that.
Again, I've been here
Proud of it.
18. You've been here 23.
Yep.
And we're still the youngest show on the station.
I know.
Yeah.
We're the baby of the four.
Crazy.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
Oh, how much time we in here? I don't even
Hey,
know.
check this out real quick.
Hey, go ahead.
Dog ears have been flipped upside down. Did you guys read this?
No.
So a new study out of the University of California at San Diego found that dogs and humans don't correlate 1 to 7 like we've always thought in dog years. That it's just, a human is 1, then that means a dog is 7. Because they're saying a 9-month-old dog can have puppies. So they knew that the 1 to 7 ratio wasn't accurate because 7-year-old humans, of course, can't have kids. Sure. So what they basically found is that the dogs take a huge leap in year 1. And by the time a dog is 1, they're basically a 30-year-old person. And then the age slows down a little bit. By age 2, they're around 40 in human years. And by the time a dog is 4, they're about 52. And then the aging tails off after that. When a dog is 10 years or older, they're basically like a 70-year-old. And then they essentially age almost exactly the same as a human would do where, clock's ticking at some point there.
I guess that makes sense.
Yep. So they're saying 1 equals 30, 2 equals 40, 4 equals about 52.
I feel like 1 to 30 seems like a really big leap. That doesn't really make sense to me because, well, now you're talking like cognitively, but,
Sure.
Puppies basically the first 2 years of their lives are just bumbling idiots. Like they're, they're just,
That's the correct term.
they can be trained and all
They
that
eat
stuff,
shit,
but they're
yeah.
they're just, it's like the classic puppy. The puppies are just like, it's like there's no conscience to them. They just
Can I
like
change your mind, though? Tommy Olsen's 27.
Okay, there's one exception.
He's essentially a puppy.
Yeah. Or a baby.
Just banging everything he can get his hands on until he's at least 30.
I could see 1 to 20, 1 to 30. All right, whatever.
Yeah,
Not that it really
whatever,
matters,
right.
But
Anyway.
Oh, so I was trying to remember what movie Bale won the Academy
Machinist,
Award
right?
for. No, it was
No, that's the one he lost a shitload of weight for, though. He won. Don't tell me. Do you know?
Yeah,
He won
I
the
just
Academy Award?
read it. Yeah, he won Best Supporting Actor. Best Supporting Actor Academy Award.
The Fighter?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen that either.
That's depressing.
Oh, dude, you
as
would love
fuck.
that.
Never seen that.
Yeah, him and, Amy Adams and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
right?
that's depressing as
It was
fuck.
super good, though.
But check this out.
Based on a true story, I think,
I
too.
got to
Yeah.
imagine they are paying him so much money. And this is for release February 2022. He will portray the main villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Thor: Love and Thunder.
Huh?
So he's going to be the bad guy in a Thor movie. They had to back up the Brinks truck for him to do that.
Must have.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, but I think they also, when it comes to Marvel films, because they have so many stars in them, they do like the Keanu Reeves deal where it's so much merchandising,
merchandising, all that stuff.
The
Yeah,
toys.
Point, like he doesn't seem like a Marvel guy.
Not at all.
Yeah,
And
but
I
you
know
want
they got
to.
other guys like Cumberbatch and
Sure.
stuff to do it too. But
Yeah.
Bale seems like that's beneath him
For sure.
to do like a comic book movie, a geeky movie.
Like, can you
Robert
see
Downey
Daniel
Jr.,
Day-Lewis
he's-
doing it? You know what? I can't
No,
see
Exactly.
He
you know?
retired,
but he would never do a
yeah.
Marvel movie.
But your favorite guy that's in your favorite movie,
Long Duck Dong?
Long Duck Dong, he's in
Josh
2
Brolin?
of them. Yeah,
thank you.
he's Thanos and then
Yeah,
the
but-
other guy.
But
Yeah.
I just think Bale's different because Bale seems like he's about the art more than the money.
Yeah.
And maybe
Agreed.
that's just a wildly, I don't know. That may be way, way off. But I still think, like, I would argue one of my favorite, outside of Batman, of course, Bale in The Prestige is so goddamn good, dude.
Yeah.
He's so good in that.
I wonder if
it's one of the most underrated movies in the last 25
yeah, but why
years.
would Bale be against Batman and then be in a Marvel movie?
Because Nolan's films are way more art than
Sure.
Marvel movies are popcorn
but they
movies.
crush.
They're super successful.
and
They're
they're-
insanely
Some of them are
successful.
really good,
but
Yeah,
my
some of them
guess
are
is
good.
Bale
yeah.
just.
Sure.
I don't know. I just can't see him doing it.
Yeah.
But
So,
I could also see the logic of him being in Hollywood, and who knows? He's obviously made piles and piles of money,
Yeah.
but maybe he thinks of like, I'll do this one kitschy movie,
Sure.
and I'll just make an assload of money, whether it's on merchandising, whatever.
Right.
And now I'm free rolling, and I can do independent
Good point.
films,
Yeah.
and do all the artsy
Yeah.
stuff that I want to do,
Right.
and just not even give
Right.
two shit. Like
Sure.
I will make fuck
Yeah.
you money,
Yeah.
and I'll
Right.
just be like, I got where I want financially, and now I'm just gonna do everything I want to do professionally.
Didn't you say? Didn't
And the
didn't
guy,
we talk
yeah.
about when Doolittle came out that Robert Downey Jr. had some kind of a deal with like his wife or girlfriend or
his
like,
wife.
It was like a studio deal where he agreed to do it to help out the studio because that movie sucked so much.
His wife
ass.
has some
What-
part in it.
Right, one of the worst movies in the last.
She's either
I don't know
a
how
producer.
long.
She
It's
has some
fucking
part in it,
awful.
Yeah,
It's so bad.
it's
But he did it, made a shitload of money, and did a favor to the studio. To your point, maybe it's like, all right, I'll do this one, but then I get to call the shot
Right.
for the next 4, 5, 6, whatever it is.
That said, I don't know why I'm picturing like an agent scared to death to pick up the phone. All right, Christian, listen. Just trust me. You want to be in a Marvel movie. Fuck you!
Yeah, exactly.
But it's $800 billion. All right, fuck you less.
But you get to be the bad guy,
Yeah,
so you can
and-
kind of be an.
Yeah.
you get to be
That's
an
a great
asshole.
point,
and
man.
he'll be a great
you're not-
bad guy.
You don't want to be a good guy in a Marvel film.
No.
You want to be the bad guy. That's
Unless
the
it's
only
Iron
meaty
Man.
thing.
Well, dude, that's
I
the
like
same
Iron
thing with
Man a lot.
Doolittle.
Same.
At some
Iron Man
point,
Wales.
At some point, when Robert Downey Jr.'s agent was picking up the phone when Robert read the script, and he's like, "You're telling me the main moment of the movie, I'm pulling shit out of a dragon's ass?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. I'm not doing this movie. Yes, you are. We already agreed to it. I'm not pulling shit out of an animated dragon's
No.
ass. This is the dumbest ending to a movie I've ever heard. Too bad you're in it. You already filmed it.
Yeah.
What an
Tell your
interesting
wife.
thing, man, that
It's so fucking awful.
there are humans out there who can make a decision not to do something that would pay them
Yeah.
money we will never see just
Yeah. Well,
because they don't
Corey's
need
example,
to. You know
the
what
Mike
I mean?
Trout example.
Yeah.
He could skip this entire baseball prorated season because
I mean, there's not
Fuck
very, I mean, outside of murdering people that I love, there's not much I wouldn't do for $25 million. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would do a lot of shit.
Money buys you
physically
freedom,
harm
man.
myself.
It buys
I
you
know.
freedom.
Yeah.
It buys you options and the option to not do shit that you don't want to do.
Yeah. I'd post pictures of my little wiener online.
Please
they're
do.
already online.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you accidentally live broadcasted during the root party.
Micropenis.com.
Your dad's very untrustworthy.
Yeah. What?
All right. Well, you want to tell them anything in particular, Sauce, before you leave?
Yes. Suck balls.
Thanks.